Aloha! Welcome back to the Real Trash Podcast. I'm gonna thank you for being back on another Real Trash Podcast episode, and it's so exciting that we get to be back with each other again on another episode. And welcome if you're new to my Real Trash Podcast. Welcome. We talk about, and I want to introduce myself. My name is Noah James. Aloha. I'm from Honolulu, Hawaii. And what we talk about on the Real Trash Podcast is we talk about trashy subjects. And every week, last week we started talking about that we throw away the trash. Every episode we throw this episode in the trash, and then we will start with a new episode the next week. And it's usually on Monday or Sunday I upload every week. And so yeah, so we talk about trashy subjects from trashy subjects from Disney news, trashy subjects from politics. I love talking about politics on my channel. So if you're not a politician, the political person, it's good that you get a little information from here if you're on the side of who I represent. It's just good information to have. If you don't want to listen, it's okay. It's fine. You can skip over it, whatever you need to do. And also, I talk about trashy subjects from celebrity news and other bunch of other topics we talk about. And then we talk about subjects about my life and how my week has been through the week. And the main subject I like to talk about on my Real Trash podcast, I like to talk about is disability. And we will be talking about trashy subjects about it too. But the main goal on this podcast is to let people be recognized for their disabilities. And I have a disability. And hi, my name is Noah James. Yes, I was born in 1998. When my mom had a C-section to me, I was diagnosed with hard of hearing. And so, yeah, I can't hear like everybody else, so I do have to wear hearing aids. And yeah, I learned sign language when I was younger, so I can communicate with deaf people, and I can, yeah, I can get an interpreter if I want an accommodation for that in school, or other things if I ever ask for that. That's a really good accommodation to have. So yeah, it's cool to be able to learn sign language, and my best friend is deaf, so I get to communicate in sign language all the time, and it's so like really cool. It's awesome. Also, yes, I'm on the autism spectrum, the autistic spectrum. There's all for the high frequency. I guess I'm on the high frequency. And then we have and then yeah, I have learning disabilities, so I may have to learn a little, adapt a little different in my classroom, from the classroom to the testing room, and studying for homework. It depends on what kind of learning disability you have. But yeah, and yes, I want to tell people, yes, I'm one of these disabled people, and that's very happy and shiny. Even though there's other things in my life that can be affected, but I don't let that affect me. And some other disabled people are not like me, that have this kind of positivity. So yeah, so welcome to the Real Trash Podcast episode. And let's get into the Real Trash Podcast episode today. Yes, we are on episode number 37, you guys. And like I titled it, TikTok banned in USA. I cannot believe it, but I can believe it because you know what? It will be banned efficiently tomorrow on January 19th. That is Sunday, January 19th, 2025. I can't believe it. But I can believe it at the same time. I can't believe that. So first of all, let's get into Which one should we get into first? Since we did talk about the TikTok ban first, let's just go into this right now. Since this is the big situation right now. TikTok is letting users know that the social media app will be temporarily unavailable to the upcoming US ban taking effect on Sunday. And that's the 18th. So right now it's temporarily unavailable due to the upcoming that the ban is coming on Sunday. And so we will see if President Trump will do anything and appeal it, and we'll see what this administration. Let's read more of this, and then I will tell you what I think of this situation. User login on were met with a pop-up message regarding important updates, and this just happened. This just happened on Saturday, the 18th. Of 2025, January 18th, 2025. This had a little update. It had a little message on the TikTok screens of everybody's screen. And it said, users logging on were met with a pop-up message reading, important update from TikTok, advising that the soon-to-be implemented U.S. law would force us to make our services temporarily unavailable. We're working to restore service in the U.S. as soon as possible. Users on Saturday could still click through the message and operate the app. The countdown until the social media app goes dark is all but a given after the U.S. Supreme Court unanimously voted Friday to uphold Congress' ban unless the app sells its U.S. asset by January 19. President Joe Biden said he would not enforce the ban, leaving up to President-elect Donald Trump, whose inauguration is set for Monday and who told NBC News he expects to most likely implement a 90-day hold. Yeah. And so that is the and TikTok said, we regret that a U.S. law banning TikTok will take effect on January 19th and force U.S. to make our services temporarily unavailable. Okay, I think that's what we already said. And the social media platform is still operational in the U.S. as of Saturday at 9 p.m. Eastern, though its fate remains unclear. So yeah, that is the update on the TikTok ban right now, temporarily right now. So we are going to be waiting into the Trump administration and see what they're going to do with this TikTok ban that has been affected here in America. But also, I will tell you that as a TikTok user using TikTok, I would say there's people on there that I don't like on TikTok. I'm going to comment on one right now. Jeffree Star, I don't like you. You remind me of Donald Trump a lot. Yes, you do, girl. I don't like her at all. I don't like Jeffree Star at all. Especially when I commented, let's go Joe Biden. And she didn't like that. He didn't like that. And he blocked me because I put Joe Biden in there. That told me a lot right there. And then also, another thing, the app doesn't work good for me because I can't use my ID to show my identification to get approved on TikTok. Then I tried to go in and try to ask some administrative, if there's any administrative way I can ask anybody in the administration of TikTok to help me so I can upload, show that I'm verified and I'm old enough to be able to be on this app. So you have to show your ID and it show that my ID is invalid, or the ID doesn't show that I'm old enough to be able to be on TikTok. And so that really frustrates me because I am old enough, honey. So TikTok, you need to fix that. So right now, if you don't fix that, I hope you're listening to this, TikTok. This is why I don't like TikTok. And so I'm okay with it being banned. But also, I know that people make a living off of TikTok too. So good for you guys. That I'm happy that you guys make a good living off of it. But also, it's unfair to me that I can't make a living off of it because TikTok won't verify me on with my ID because I'm not old enough. So I don't know how to feel about that because um, like TikTok, if you had more resources for me to um, be able to be on TikTok live, then I'll reconsider TikTok being a good thing. But right now, you guys need a better way how to be able to contact or customer service just in case we need help. It's not a good app. I don't like it. And plus it's run by Chinese government. And I don't like the Chinese government. And just because I put hashtag China news or hashtag China on um my YouTube reels I do, that doesn't mean I like China. Okay. I'm just showing China how US is and how great we are as a country. And we don't need the dictatorship of China either to dictate US. USA is the best country in the world. We don't like dictators. That's all I'll say about that. So if people are wondering why I put that, now you guys know why I do that. Okay. So in the next topic we're gonna talk about, gosh, y'all. What should we talk about next? Actually, I might talk about that one last, the one that I was just looking at, because, yeah. So the next topic we're going to talk about actually is the NFL playoffs, and it's the National Football League. And yes, it's the National Football League, and that football, we call it in America, it's like football, you throw and you tackle each other. That's football to us. And I know football in different countries in Europe, you call it soccer, and we call soccer football. We call soccer football. What is it? Europe calls football soccer. Yeah, Europe calls soccer football. And that's kicking the ball. And then we call soccer football with the kicking with the ball here in the US. So then we have football in the US that's different, like where you tackle and throw the ball. So it's complicated if you don't know that. But now we are into the playoffs. And this is really exciting because I love football in America. And yes, we have the matchup now. And so um, we've had two games already today. And that was Washington and Detroit. And then we had KC and Houston today. So there was really good games. I was mad that Washington won to Detroit. Detroit should have won that game. So I don't know what they did at that point. But you know what? Good for you, Washington. You won that game. And Houston, the KC, I'm so happy for KC. And then what was always cool is you see Taylor Swift up there. And then Caitlin Clark was there, another big boss. She's good. She made a lot of new what is the word? Customers, not customer, a bigger audience come to the WNBA so people can see that women's sports in basketball is pretty good to watch too. And I know she's a big force in fighting for women's sports, especially for her sport. And then tomorrow we will be having the 19th is we will have Philadelphia versus Los Angeles. And then we have Baltimore and Buffalo tomorrow. So we will see who wins those games. And yeah, and then these are the next games. And then they go to the championship of their division next. And then whoever wins the division championship, they go to the Super Bowl. Oh my God. Woohoo! I can't believe it. And oh my goodness, football is almost over. I can't believe it. The National Football League is almost over. I cannot believe it. I know college football too. That's almost over too. What? This is crazy. But yes, so that is the update on NFL news. We don't really talk about that, but yeah, that's been another thing that's been going on too. Also, if you know that I'm a big tennis fan, um, you know what tennis is? It's where you serve the ball and not pickleball. Pickleball is a little smaller. You hit a little bit, but you hit the tennis ball and you gotta serve and you gotta hit your forehand and backhand. Yes, and so there's big events for huge events that happen. All year round, and there's four big events that happen in tennis, and these are the biggest events. And you win a big trophy, and you win a lot of money in this tournament. But it's not easy to get through it. And so right now, the Australian Open is the first one, and then you have the French Open, and then you have Wimbledon, and then we have the U.S. Open. And then there's the last one at the end, at the year end, that's really good too. It's the WTA finals or the ATP finals, and those are at the end of the year. But the first one right now is Australian Open. It's in Australia, so it's really cool. It's really hot there while it's cold here where I live in the US. But it's if you want to watch it, it's on ESPN and ESPN2. Usually it's on ESPN2, I think. Yeah, it's been on there right now. Right now it's going on too. But there's been amazing, really good tournament this year. Really good players this year that have been playing in this tournament. And yeah, so Australian Open January 6th to the 26th of January of 2025. So yeah. So right now we are in the fourth round of everything. I'll just give you an update today, January 18th. We're in the fourth round. So Donna Vekic played Anastasia Palavencheva. I can say it right now. But she won 7-6, 6-0. Anastasia went to Donna Vekic. Then you have Sabalenka. She won. She's number one in the world. Really good. She won 6-1, 6-2. And then Paula Podoroska, she won 6-1, 7-6. And then Coco Gauff, American, she won 6-2, 6-1. She lost the first set 7-5. So really cool that we have American tennis, American women doing really good, and American men that are doing good in tennis. It's been a while since we've had American men doing really good, but American women are striving and doing great. Coco Gauff is really amazing. She's very young. And yeah, she's doing great for American tennis, women tennis, and it's just amazing to see out there. So if you haven't seen the Australian Open, I hope that you check it out because it's almost over. And now these rounds that are coming up now, it's on ESPN too. So these rounds that are coming up now are gonna get more intense because now it's getting closer to the championship to getting that trophy. So I hope that if you've never seen it, or if people are in Australia right now that haven't seen the Australian Open, I hope that you go see it. And thank you for supporting tennis because we are so diverse and we care about everybody in this sport. And it's a very lonely sport. And you have to have that mindset on how to navigate the court by yourself. You have a coach, but they can't help you on the court. You have to do everything by yourself. So the coach tells you what you need to do, but you have to do everything and figure it out on the court. So it's not an easy game. But yeah, so I hope that people in Australia are watching. Thank you for all the fans that have been watching in Australia too. It's just amazing to see the big crowds out there watching from the daytime to the nighttime. I really appreciate that for our tennis community because it's just amazing to see what people are liking to watch our sport. Even though if you don't like it, or if you're a big fan, thank you for being there and watching our sport. So yes. And then let me give you an update on how my week has been. We are in the week of January the 13th the 12th to the 18th right now. The 19th, 2025. And this week has been pretty crazy. Um, this week I got my hearing aids checked, so that was really good. But I did want to go out because I felt like, I just didn't want to be. I had to put my mask on, so I went to Costco, and I've been having a lot of earwax. They're like, "Oh my God, you have a lot of earwax." So I'm like, "How do you get them cleaned?" Then they're like, "Oh, you need to go to an ear and throat doctor." I'm like, "Okay, well, I didn't know you need to go to one of those to get your earwax taken out of your ear." So that's new because I didn't know you could get somebody to do your earwax, or you can go to your primary care. So I have to look at that, see. I have to see if my primary care can take my earwax out, because I guess I have a lot of earwax because it's be showing on my hearing aids that they keep having all the earwax. But it's so nice to have my hearing aids. Oh my God, I can't. Oh, so nice to hear again. If you have this problem, it's nice. When you're younger, you don't really realize. You just kind of feel different. Like you just feel like, you couldn't fit in with everybody else. But now that I got older, like I know that I can be different, and it's okay to be different, and I love being different, and it's really cool. And having hearing aids is even cooler. So it's yeah. So um, yeah, but what else was I gonna say? Yeah, so I did that and got my hearing aids checked, and then we've been doing this disability determination stuff. Trying to get disability, and I got denied, but it's okay. It's fine. There's things that I've been we're trying to do an appeal now with my attorney, and so yeah, that's been the process of that. And I mean, I'm glad that I've been going through this process because that can help people that have been trying to fight this system that haven't been able to get their disability, but also the disability money, but also the people that have a disability that have had it their whole life and they don't get accepted with this. And so that's very frustrating to see the system that it is. And they say it's only for 75 and up, but that's not true. So this is what I'm trying to learn right now, this system. And then I've just been thinking about, school and yeah, so we'll figure that out soon. School already started on I think the 13th, the 14th of this week. So college, coming into college. So I can't do any classes on this semester, but hopefully my goal is in August. So yes, I know we're finally getting somewhere, and I'm trying to focus on school. Everybody's like, you should go to work. I'm like, well, that's great, but I've been to work for 7 years, and I learned a lot in it. But also, I've learned that my education is very important, and I don't know if everybody else thinks their education is important too. So I'm one of them that always wanted to strive in education and be able to get my degree in college. So I haven't been able to do that yet. So it would be really nice to be able to. I haven't been in 7 years, 8 years, so it would be great to just be able to go back to college and be able to finally settle in. And it's a little scary, but I think I will be able to do it. But yeah, as this able person, you kind of have to figure out how you're gonna how are you gonna do when you first go back to school, and with the resources you have and the disability um, office you have. So it's just a lot that combinations to make sure that I have the right resources to go to school. Yeah, so that week I just have been doing a lot of stuff this week, girl. So that's the update on me on that stuff. And then um this last thing, y'all. And I know I'm a Democrat. And y'all, Biden's last day is on the 19th, January 19th, 2025. But don't worry. He said he's going to still be doing things. Even though he is out of office, he is still going to be doing things out of office. Okay, so that's good. And I hope that people are still fighting out there for what they believe in, even though that Trump is coming into office. Trump inauguration to be moved indoors. This is the right now. President-elect Donald Trump's inauguration will be moved indoors, he announced Friday, due to dangerously cold temperatures predicted in the nation's capital. I have ordered the inauguration address, in addition to prayers and other speeches, to be delivered in the United States Capitol Rotunda, as was used by Ronald Reagan in 1985. Also, because of very cold weather, Trump posted on Truth Social, "We will open Capital One Arena on Monday for live viewing of this historic event. And to host the presidential parade, I will join the crowd at Capital One after my swearing in," Trump added. CNN reported earlier Friday that plans were underway for Trump and Vice President-elect J.D. Vance to be sworn in the rotunda, and that Trump's team was in talks to potentially host some of the festivities at the arena, where Trump will host a rally on Sunday. The Joint Congressional Committee on Inaugural Ceremonies will honor the request of the president-elect and his Presidential Inaugural Committee to move the 60 inaugural ceremonies inside the U.S. Capitol to the rotunda, the committee said in a statement. The committee always makes contingency plans to host the inauguration in multiple locations in case of weather or other obstacles, but the challenge now is where to put the thousands of people who would have been outside but cannot all fit in the rotunda. The vast majority of ticketed guests will not be able to attend the ceremonies in person, the committee said in a notice sent to ticket holders later Friday. It urged spectators to watch at indoor venues of their choice, adding that its designation certain places to watch and will provide additional information. The committee said that those with tickets for the presidential platform and members of Congress will be able to attend in person. So so that's what's really going on right now. And then official worried about low temperatures. Officials are worried about the low temperatures being a health risk to attendees and guests, a concern Trump voiced on Friday. "I don't want to see people hurt or injured in any way. It is dangerous conditions for the tens of thousands of law enforcement, first responders, police, canines, and even horses, and hundreds of thousands of sporters that will be outside for many hours on the 20th. In any event, if you decide to come, dress warmly," Trump posted. The last president to be sworn in indoors was Reagan in 1985, when daytime temperatures dipped to 7 degrees with a wind chill of -25. Reagan took the oath of office inside the Capitol Rotunda. His inaugural parade was canceled. President William Henry Harrison is widely believed to have caught a cold during his 1841 inaugural ceremony, during which he gave a 2-hour speech and wore no coat hat. According to the University of Virginia Miller Center, he later contracted pneumonia and died 1 month after his inauguration. Oh, wow. I did not know that. This year, the temperature on Inauguration Day at noon, when the president-elect swear in, is expected to be in the lowest 20s, which is around 20 degrees below normal. Likely the coldest since Reagan's second inauguration. Winds of 10 to 20 miles per hour with gusts up to 30 miles per hour are likely Monday. These winds will make conditions feel frigid. Winds chill are likely to hover around 10 degrees during the daylight hours and could drop into the single digits after sundown. A mix of rain and snow is possible Sunday ahead of the main event, but Monday so far looks cold and windy but dry. So that is the that is what's happening in the inauguration coming up on January the 20th of 2025. And so congratulations to Donald Trump for winning another Trump term. Um, and I saw people by the Capitol, or like people kind of close. There's like a crowd of people. I think where they have the ceremony, usually have the ceremony for the inauguration. There was a huge crowd of people that were actually protesting against Donald Trump. So good for y'all doing that. So maybe it's kind of scared that there's more people protesting in a different way instead of doing the Capitol way. So that happened the last time, the Capitol riot. And that was just a different thing compared to what these other people are doing. But yeah, so it, you know, I hope that people remember that day, what happened in 2019, 2020. That was when Biden was trying to get sworn in, and Donald Trump made all these lies that there was stealing the election, Biden was stealing the election, and there was fraud, and da da da. And he still talks about that all the time. So yeah, um, we wish you the best, President Trump, in this next um, term. And I hope that the Democratic folks gather together and do what they need to do to be able to stay sane. And if you can't watch the inauguration, don't watch it. You can ignore it if you don't want to watch it. It's not for everybody. I know that you're going to be going through a hard time. As you can see, Michelle Obama will not be there. Former First Lady will not be there. Michelle Obama, Nancy Pelosi will not be there. I can understand their reasons why they don't want to be there. So that makes a lot of sense. They want to protect their mental health, and I know Nancy Pelosi would do what she needs to do in this upcoming administration because she's very smart, and I know she knows what to do. Um, but yeah, and then I read another article, actually. So yeah, so I hope that everybody is this Democrats. I hope that we get stronger and fight for what is right and what we need to do in this next 4 years, and be able to nominate who we need to nominate, and figure out solutions so this doesn't happen again. Whatever state you're in. And then there was another thing I wanted to talk about because I don't think I talked about it. There's this one right here. This is and one from Joe Biden. Let's just go into one by Joe Biden that I really like, and we'll just leave it off at this one. So Joe Biden talked about that. He said, U.S. President Joe Biden has said that he thinks he would have defeated Donald Trump and won re-election in November. And I believe 100% that Joe Biden could have won this election because he beat him last time. And I don't care how disastrous the debate was. There has to be something else that but some people didn't want that. And then Chuck Schumer had a little discussion with him too. So I'm hesitant about Chuck Schumer because he said some pretty embarrassing things to him that I would have never said to the President Biden either. To all those people that didn't want Joe Biden to run again, I'm very I just don't think that you have the right to. I mean, you have the right to say what you want to say, but also you're not the president of the United States. So I just see your position a little different from the President of the United States. Speaking to the U.S. Today is an exclusive interview. Biden, however, added that he was unsure if he would have had the stamina for another 4 years. So far, so good, the 82-year-old said, but who knows what I'm going to be when I'm 86 years old. That's so, so, um, yeah, so, yeah, I just, Joe Biden could have won the election, and whatever. I'm going to talk that in the last episode, but let's just leave it on that note, because I am a good, and I would just say that this administration has mean a lot to me. Um, taken, I've had taken a lot to heart and be able to figure out my life. And this has been the best administration to really keep me on track. And so I'm very thankful to President Joe Biden, for sticking. And he didn't want to run, and he still did it for what he needed to do for his country. And he didn't want to run. He already said he was done after his vice presidency, but um, he took the baton and ran, and he won in 2020. So it was just great to have him and be able to have another seat, the first South Asian descent, African American woman vice president, first ever woman vice president. So it was just great history. Thank you for Joe Biden for doing that and having a woman of color, South Asian descent, but also a woman, and showing people that women can do high jobs like that. And it's just so cool that that we got to have that and experience that, and hopefully we will have a woman president one day, and hopefully people will get there someday. But I know we're not there. We have to keep in the fight. Democrats out there, and yeah, let's keep this fight. And thank you, President Joe Biden, for what you have done for my life and many other Americans out there that had lost hope and lost that were kind of confused because President Trump would try to manipulate democracy and say crazy things that were not true. So I'm just thankful that he defended democracy, and President Biden did an amazing job. It's just a true hero in my history book for sure. And so, yeah, but we will miss you in the White House. I was like, oh my goodness, I can't believe it's already over. But, he will be around still and fighting for what is right for all of us. And yeah, so thank you, President Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris. I thank you guys from the bottom of my heart. And then also, I want to thank you guys for watching another Real Trash podcast episode with me. We are done with the Real Trash podcast, and we can throw it in the trash until next week, and we will pick up on a new episode. But thank you so much for the Real Trash podcast followers out there that are watching my Real Trash podcast, and thank you for watching my YouTube channel. Thank you for watching my YouTube reels out there, and thank you so much for subscribing to my YouTube channel, you guys. I am so thank you to the Real Trash podcast family, and to my Ohana Angels out there that are out there watching my YouTube channel. And please go get anybody to subscribe to my channel. And I'm just very grateful to all of the subscribers and followers and the viewers that watch my videos, even my Real Trash podcast episodes. So thank you so much. And at the end of my videos, I always say this: "Ahui ho" is goodbye in Hawaiian, and always be yourself. Real Trash podcast people. We will see you next time on the next episode. Let's throw it away. And yeah, we will see you on the next episode. Love y'all. Bye. Have a safe one. Bye-bye. Love y'all. Always be yourself. Bye-bye.